Hello, my name is Bodin. I'm the co-founder of Traffic Records, almost doing music, I would say 20 years ago. I started doing music with beatboxing actually. I was a competitive beatboxer in my past. I was doing like competitions. I was second in the German beatbox championships. And somehow I got interested like in new genres. Before I was like really focused on hip hop and rap music, and somehow I got like really interested in electronic music due to clubs like Robert Johnson, for example. This was like one of my first experience I get used to in electronic music, and somehow I decided to quit my thing with beatboxing. I earned there some money, and this money I used to buy gear, turntables, CDJs, and that's how I would say I started to get into electronic music. DJing came first, because I don't know, I was like really interested like to mix two tracks together and that it fit like perfectly. And it took me a while, to be honest, in the beginning, but somehow I got like really passionate in it. Especially research. Research was a really big topic, or is a really big topic still in my life. Researching music, like old music, new music, it doesn't matter. I mean, discovering music is a thing that will never end, I would say, especially quality music, because nowadays there are a lot of releases, but also in the past there have been, especially in electronic music, a lot of releases, and you know, you cannot come behind as much as it is. So I'm a research lover actually in music, and that's what's one of my biggest passion beside of producing music. I was like also interested like to make my own beats, so I started to buy me a MacBook, just like super old school, on the bedroom, even like with some shitty headphones, and just like clicking something on Ableton here and there, and I just read some threads in the internet, and I kind of get used to it, and that's how I would say step by step I started to produce music. Well, my mentors would say are my best friends. It's Martin and Jacob. With them I did also Traffic Records together. First of all, I met Martin. Martin was in the beginning already had some releases on La Peña, on the old label of Arno Einzelkind. And I met him in the club like several times, and I was like interested. Man, he did like some nice tracks in the beginning. I was like, how did you did this and stuff? And that's how he showed me a bit of the way. And then I started to work in Freebase Records in the record shop because of my passion about researching music. And that's how I met Jacob then. And with Jacob I was like really close. So we started to produce music on his bed. On his bed we had like his laptop, like a really small bed, his laptop, and like two HS80s, and that's how we produced mostly our first 5 or 6 releases from Traffic before we got this whole thing and the studio. Well, I would say in the journey of electronic music, it was one of the best times I really had to work in a record store. You were just the whole day focused on music. I was like already pre-selecting for some bigger DJs some stuff, and they came then into the record store, and then they were listening, and when they bought a record, you already were like pre-searching for them. I was like really proud of myself, you know, like I don't know, from Ricardo Villalobos until Sven Feld, Raresh. I was, you know, like pre-selecting for them, and then, you know, like they came in the shop and then they saw like a bunch of records, and then they were just like going through it and buying the records. And it was a really, really nice time there. Also DJ Mead, who was the owner back then of Freebase Records in the old record store, and it was a really, really good time. It was actually a really big community with Freebase in the beginning, also in the end. You know, that's how I think the bubble in Frankfurt started to grow, was first with Freebase Records, afterwards with Gozo Records. Freebase Records was like this older generation with Arno Einzelkind, Dorian, Vera, DJ Meat, and this was like this kind of crew in the beginning, which were the stone in the music of Frankfurt. When this started, when this happened, a lot of younger people like me, get interested in the music and stuff, and then somehow Dietmar opened later on a record store was named Gozo, and in Gozo the same thing what happened in Freebase Records happened in Gozo, but like a decade later, I would say. And that's how the younger people did exactly, I would say, the same. It was done in Freebase Records. So we all get into the bubble again, but with younger people. And yeah, that somehow all my friendship started from music or from electronic music, I would say. And it's like pretty interesting to see the similarity between this time 10 years ago and nowadays. With the Gozo thing and the Freebase thing, because it's exactly the same how the friendship between each other started and how also the music in Frankfurt started to evolve. Gozo sadly is not still going anymore. We don't have right now a record store. We have Mine Records, for example, but you know, Gozo was in the center of Frankfurt and everybody was going there, like also during the week, just to hang out, just to drink a coffee or something, or just to drink a beer. And when immediately like a big bunch of records came, I was like the first and the last to leave the shop there. That's a really good question. I would say at some point we like really felt it to do something like a community, you know, because we were hanging out together a lot. We were doing music together a lot. Martin, Jacob's brother, Julian Chenot, Patrick Klein and me. And yeah, at some point, I don't know, it was like a kind of a feeling, and we just said, I think in the same time, okay, let's start doing a label, and that's how Traffic Records was born. I don't remember actually how the name came. It was like a group decision that we felt like Traffic Records would feel, because I don't know, electronic music is about dancing and moving, and it's kind of what it's all about, to make the people dance and to feel comfortable in the crowd. And maybe this was one of the reasons we used the name, and it sounded cool. And it still sounds cool, I would say. My first release was together with Jacob. We did the Action EP on the Traffic Records. And yeah, this was like one of our legendary sessions on the bedroom of Jacob, like a really small bed, like I said, with this HS80s and some like really shitty samples and VSTs, and we were just like clicking and you know, like involving how to arrange music. We got like really better in how we express our kind of music. So at some point we said, okay, our music is so professional finally that we are possible now to release it. Before, you know, it was just mostly like loops which were unfinished. We had like some good ideas, but there was like a problem with the arrangement all the time. And Jacob was a master in it. He was the master, or is the master, in arranging music, and he kind of helped me also, helped all of us in Traffic Records how to fix our arrangements. And it was like try and error, learning by doing, did some researches how to arrange even better. And yeah, this is how the first release came then. It was like really, really good. We just got sold out, I think, after 2 weeks or something, and we just repressed it twice, actually. We were really lucky that Martin already had good contact with DBH, with Robert Rehwerk at that time, so that we had like a really good deal. And we're also still at DBH and doing there our records. Actually it went like really fast. He believed in us because yeah, he is here to release, and thought it's a really, really good release, and happily it worked out really well for us. Yeah, I mean, it was it's like a distribution which give us like the platform to do it, and yeah, that's why we were like really happy for it, like to have even this possibility to have someone to want our releases. And as I said, since the first release we nearly sold out every Traffic Records we ever did. Wow, yeah, this is a big question and I can answer this. First of all, I have to say Robert Johnson. Robert Johnson was my institution where I studied. You know, people went in their early 20s to go study and do some things. I quit 3 studies because of Robert Johnson, actually, because I was going there every weekend and listening to such many different artists. I started to go there around 2009, 2008. Matthew Herbert was recording his album in Robert Johnson, with the noises in Robert Johnson were made from people. So like people were stomping or clapping or something, and then he was like, you know, like recording everything. And I found it like really interesting, like the way of how he is producing music, and that he used actually the club to make an album. This was like insane. So this was like a really big impression to me to see that. Otherwise, I've seen so many big artists, from Theo Parrish until to Ricardo, Raresh, Francesco Del Garda. There's like this legendary Francesco Del Garda parties in the 26th of 12. It's like a really big date here in Frankfurt. It's like when everybody is with their families, you know, and 26 is the last day of Christmas you spend with your families, and afterwards everybody was just going like straight to Robert Johnson, and like Francesco was playing mostly every 26, like impressive music, really crazy music. Beside of that, also in the early beginnings of Robert Johnson, I went out to La Peña parties to listen like Arno Einzelkind, booking like also old legends. Yeah, there have been like a few artists which there came on my mind. Onur, for example. Onur, I've seen Onur developing from 2009 until now, like how he was changing his music styles over the 10-15 years he was like playing in Robert Johnson. And yeah, I would say the most impression is not the artist by himself, it's the club, you know. We went out to Robert Johnson, and afterwards we just went straight, okay, you remember like this track, you remember this, that? Okay, let's try to do something similar. Like, I have this idea on my mind of how this track was arranged. Man, this was like something crazy. Let's do it. And we were like straight from the club, we just went here and started to produce. Way back, I remember, I think it was like 2009, 2010. Robert Johnson was a club for 20 years old. So you just could get in with 20 years. I'm happy that my father gave me the beard and I could go there earlier. And yeah, my first expressions, of course, here was Ricardo and Robert Johnson, and this was, yeah, it was mind-blowing because he was like mixing several genres in between and putting some vocals in, and like from hard techno acid until like super dry minimalistic sounds, you know. It's like, I mean, you know, the artists, when they play in Robert Johnson, they know it's magic, the place, you know. So it's always, for every artist, I would say, they try to not to play different, but they give like everything from their heart, because it was a place where yeah, you could express yourself without anyone like shouting bad about you or something. Just a place where you express yourself. It was way different, sadly, but I still believe in quality, I still believe in good music, and that's where I am, and that's why I'm still doing music, you know. Like, I'm not doing music to get famous, I just do music mostly for myself, also to evolve or to show the people how I changed my sound, how I changed myself, and to tell my kind of story. Well, of course, you know, like As I said, I love to research music. I love to research music on several platforms. I love to go in record stores and just like go there for hours and just, you know, like be there like full focused and, you know, just like find some music. And I would say the more adult I got, the more different my kind of music type get. I wouldn't say I have a specific genre. I am focused in music. It's more about getting adult and getting evolved in a different kind of music styles which I have not been before. And as I said, music is endless and it's just a beautiful journey to learn about new genres, to get into new genres. And you know, like it's a domino stone falling when you found like one sick release or like one sick label, and then you have like this spread wide open timeless thing that you find even more artists, more labels, and that's how I would say my sound evolved and changed. And yeah, I'm never playing the same style, to be honest. Like it's changing over the years. Over, I would say, all 2 or 3 years, I get bored. It's some kind of some genres, some specific genres, because I put so much time into it, in researching and playing this kind of music, that at some point I'm saying to myself, okay, I really, you know, like want to learn something new about electronic music, and it's beautiful. The journey is still going. Right now, I would say we just restarted our studio. Before, if you see how beautiful it looks now, it didn't look well before. It was like really punk rock style here. You know, it was like super dirty and everywhere like bottles and stuff, you know. And at some point, you know, we said, okay, fuck it, we're gonna change everything and make it properly, because we also get like more adult. And that's why we said, okay, we want a clean setup. We just throw everything out and make it like super fresh compared to our age as well. And now the project is first of all to get the studio ready, and then yeah, I would say I'm on fire. I did like a lot of researches the last 2 years. Mostly at the moment I do like edits for playing. I love to do edits because I find like some obscure music which is not danceable. Then I, for example, pitch it up, put some drums under it, put some bass line, put some synthesizer on it. But I'm focusing also to do a new album. Yeah, my album was released, my last one, I think like 6 years ago. And my next release will be an album, but it will take time. And I hope end of 2025 will be my next release. The thing was, to be honest, during Corona, I caged myself here in the studio, and I was like not going out from the studio like for weeks. Really, I just slept here on the couch and just like woke up, had an idea, and just like pressed play and did like I think like 200 to 300 tracks like in 1.5 years or something. And you know, after this I lost like kind of the creativity, you know. So that's why I stopped back then like to do music, because I didn't felt it anymore, like to press the buttons. Everything sounded similar, because if you're so much in the studio and you're putting so much time in it, yeah, I felt like, you know, like everything sounds so similar. I need just a break, and I took like a really long break, and I used this break to research music. The line between, I mean, what means underground in the end? You know, like underground can be good music, can be shit music. Commercial music, I would say it's a product. It's a product, like I said before, it's a product about PR, social media, and, you know, an artist getting hyped with a lot of people from the side, which makes the artist grow beside of the music. This is, I would say, commercial music. Underground music is like you've just fucking press the buttons and make music, man. This is the way of making underground music. Can we say bad words in the interview?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Okay.
They're welcome.
The future of the scene, I think the future of the scene is similar to what is it now, you know? there will always be a new generation which will do the same thing as we did. Like I said, there was Freebase Records and there was like this old generation with all those big heads at that time in Frankfurt, and then Gozu came and then the same happened again. So I think it's a process of like reverse all the time, you know, like it's happening all the time again. So I think the future will be the same, you know, like young people will find out good music and they will, you know, evolve themselves or find the music interest and start to getting a talent or are talented and put a lot of time in it. And then they will also start to do good music, you know. And that's the thing what I think will never die until the earth will be over. It's like 10 years ago or something, listen this. So there was like one party in Robert Johnson. It was like Ricardo and Radu. And we as Traffic Records with Hardwork Soft Drink together decided to make a party. So this party was in a bank, in an old bank. And you had to walk like through a labyrinth, and it was like really down in the ground, like, and with like high walls, like crazy location. You know, like the scene of Blade when like the blood is coming down from the water sprinklers. It was exactly the same. So what happened? We did a party. It started daytime, like at 12 a.m. So people were like already interested. What is this location? Let's go there. And nobody could find the entrance because it was like a completely labyrinth, like going there. So Nicolas Lutz was playing there, Ono Öza, all Hardwork Soft Drinks, Oscar, Martin, Jacob and me. And this party was so legendary in Frankfurt. It went more than 26 hours in the end, with like more than 1,000 people like going there. And we just, you know, like didn't plan it that big, but yeah, it was like one of the craziest experience I would say Frankfurt had in the last 10-15 years. So it was a never-ending party in the end. We were just tired, like in the end it was like Cedric, Felix and me playing like for 10 hours because all other were dead. And in the end we were like, we can't anymore. And, like the people were like screaming, and it was like a magical place which was like super underground, completely illegal. And this was one of the legend parties here in Frankfurt. You could ask also Nicolas or Ono, they would say the same. Even Ono cancelled his gig. He was used to play in Paris in the same night, but he cancelled and started like to play back to back with Nicolas there because he was like, okay, fuck that, I'm gonna stay here. It's like too crazy, you know. It was wow. Like, yeah, we had some illegal parties, like also in this place there were some more parties, but at some point, you know, like the police get information and they had to cut it off. So this one party, like I said, 26 hours, and it was like this place going through a labyrinth with these high walls, and wow, you know, like this was just a crazy location. Everybody around the globe in our bubble was just talking about this party in Frankfurt, you know. And I'm proud that I've been part of this organization into playing in this party. Years before, you know, after Robert Johnson, all doors were opened here, and we were just running and screaming here through the floor, going just to the next studio. Somebody was just like pressing the buttons, just doing music. Then you just hang out there a bit, then you just go back here, then I just go to the next studio. No, it was just like an open space for childish adults, I would say. My advice to the younger generation is do it always from the heart, you know. Focus on being authentic as you are with the music styles. Don't listen to anyone else who's yelling at you. Just try to evolve your own music, your own style, and be pure as much as you can. My final thought would be, I would love to see the music industry, especially in the electronic music, getting focused again more on talented musicians beside of products. I'm talking products about as a DJ or as a producer, products which have like I said, which have like this big PR agency behind them and everything, and that's how they grow. I want to see more artists just grow pure and natural just with their quality of music. Not because they're looking good, not because they have some thoughts, and not because they're talking about some stuff, just good music, talented DJ, talented producer, getting naturally on the way to the stages.